Hi everyone. I wanted to make you a brief video and let you know what I've been doing and let you know what we have to do yet. First of all, I have been reading the discussion board postings on the written instructions, and there have been some very, very good ones. I looked at several people are going to, two people are doing theirs on chocolate chip cookies, which is fine. Somebody is doing theirs on making homemade jelly, which is a great idea, but of course it's a nice housewarming gift or, something for someone's birthday and so on. Somebody did a special kind of holiday pudding that they're going to be getting into. Waxing a snowboard is another one that I looked at, and many of them are baking something. But as I said, there was a good array of them. I've had so many different written instructions in this class. I had one of the funniest ones was how to create one of those potato launchers where you can also put potatoes in it, but you can also put like walnuts or whatever. And so that one was really creative. I had a student that did his on, a demolition derby car, which was neat, and even like how to play paintball, like how to play that sport, or ultimate frisbee. So I've had quite a few of them, but they're the widest range of possible topics, even like how to design a basic, effective website. So anyhow, the majority of the proposals were effective. I'm much more pleased with the quality of the proposals for the written instructions than I was with some of these proposals for the consumer report. And as I mentioned to you before, the one reason why with the consumer report that I really go through and eyeball those and make sure the proposals are right, because if you have a clear direction for where you want to go from the front end, then it makes it much easier to research your information and narrow down your sources and all that sort of thing. So that really helps. With the evaluation of written instructions that you are working on, there are so many examples of bad written instructions. And, I've looked at ones for Timex watches like the Indiglo Triathlon, and they really have poor written instructions. Much exercise equipment does not have really good written instructions on how to put it together, how to assemble it, and so on. And when my wife used to have a Honda Accord, like a 90 or 91, I can't remember which one it was, but in 1995, the thermostat blew out, and so the engine blew up, and anyhow, we took it to a man that was not a Honda specialist, and he bought a manual from Chilton, and Chilton and Haynes make these repair manuals, and there was one sentence that confused him, and apparently he didn't torque the head bolts down right or something, because when we started to drive the car again, it was white smoke was coming out, but it would barely go beyond 20 miles an hour up the hill near WCCC where Wilkins Nursery is. So that was very unfortunate, but that was an example of poorly written and vague instructions. But I have, for HP printer that I have in my office, those were really good, clear written instructions. It was on about a 3 foot by 3 foot plastic poster board, that you just hung on the wall and looked at. Extremely easy to read and extremely, clear to follow overall. So, anyhow, that's the other assignment that's due for, this week. And then the only other item that I wanted to mention to you, well, I'll just go through this. For Friday, June 28th, you have a quiz that is due, and it's actually open. You can open it up in assignments, and I would actually encourage you to start working on it sooner. If you have the ebook, like for My Tech Home Lab, you can actually search for the answers electronically, which is much easier to do. I believe there's like 12 questions, and so, like I said, they're due by midnight on Friday, June 28th. And that means that it's that night. I'm not going to give any extension on the quiz, no matter what happens. So that has to be in. And you can see for the week of, for Friday, July 5th, there's only one assignment due. It's discussion board 5, and that is that you have to look at a product that is harmful that the manufacturer tries to make more appealing. And of course, like all these diet drugs will do that. But these energy drinks, that they often show a person like skiing off the side of a cliff or whatever, and they have a parachute naturally. But they make it seem like with these energy drinks, you can be active all day. But of course, they don't talk about the acid reflux and heart problems and weight you're going to gain and erratic heartbeat and all the other problems. Naturally, if you drink them in moderation, they're not harmful for you at all. But if you drink them in excess, they can be harmful. But of course, many liquor ads. I recall seeing one with the rapper Little Kim, and it was called Purple Vodka. And I remember seeing Little Kim on Dancing with the Stars, and she's short, she's shapely, but she had on this like purple dress that couldn't have been tighter. I don't know how she even breathed. Then she had this purple lipstick on, and she was real exotic looking. And it really emphasized the appeal of the liquor, but it doesn't talk about the DUI that you're going to get, or the sexually transmitted disease that you may get if you're too intoxicated and you don't use protection, and the fight that you could get into and the harm to your liver and all the rest. You could get robbed. So, and then of course, even like with Camel cigarettes, they have an ad for Camel's Red, and it just shows like this really exotic looking woman smoking a cigarette, and it emphasizes the taste and the sex appeal of these cigarettes, but nothing else. And even if you look at some of the old ads for cigarettes, naturally they emphasize, that they're good for you, or they're good for your health, or they help you to lose weight. I remember some years back there was an ad with Ronald Reagan, our former president. He says, "Give a carton of Lucky Strikes for Christmas. It's the best gift." Of course, you'll kill the person, but they thought differently about cigarettes, at that time. In the 80s and 90s, they used to have these Joe Camel ads, especially on billboards, and there was this cool-looking Joe Camel guy riding a Harley, and there was a woman on the back, and him as a pilot and everything. And they said, no, these ads weren't intended for children, but naturally they were. So that's what that you have to do, with that. And then you can see finally on July 12th the summary of sources for your consumer report. You either need to make me a listing of 4 or 6 sources and do a summary of each one and do it in a memorandum format. And so that's what's due. And then there's a resume assignment. If you have a resume developed, we're going to use the WCCC site, collegecentral.com, and you can post one there. But of course, you can develop one through College Central. And I'm going to have you just post a couple of documents through the portfolio. So we have to do that yet. And as we go later into July, like the 19th, we have I believe we have 2 more discussion board postings to do yet. We have discussion boards 6 and 7, so that'll be coming up in July. But I know specifically on the 19th, your own written instructions will be due. And then like on that next week, like I think it's like the 22nd, one letter is due. And then on the 26th, a second letter is due. So you have 2 letters due that same week. It's not like it's going to take you 10 hours to write them, half an hour for each one. And then on the last week, the consumer report is due. And what I wanted to tell you about the consumer report, I want to look at my calendar here. And, this class ends on August 2nd. And so that's the last day by midnight, August 2nd. But if you turn your consumer report in by the Friday, the July 26th, you'll get an additional 10 points added. If you turn it in by Friday, July 19th, you'll get an additional 20 points. So that's an inducement. And I do that because it's a benefit to me, and of course it's a benefit to you. So that's what we have to go yet. And from this class, like I said, I want you to learn more of the benefit of format, especially, of headings and bullets and, in-text emphasis, but also the ABC format that they talk about in this class. I want you to become stronger on sentence level writing, trimming down your sentences, and becoming sharper and clearer. So the idea is to write concisely, descriptive writing. So I hope that this class helped you, and I hope as a consumer, but also as a professional, that it will be beneficial as you go forward on down the road. Thank you.